And good morning, everybody. We're going to get to those headlines here in just a bit. But first, we got to talk about this weather, of course. TGIF, my friends. I'm Jordan Chavez.
And I'm Corey Rose. Yes, happy Friday. What a year this week has been.
Even seasonal talking about what a season this day has already been. Break out the coats.
This morning. And then, Chris, by the afternoon, you're not going to need them. It's going to be nice and warm.
And by the way, if we look at that full forecast, Corey and Jordan, you name the weather, you are going to get it in the next 5-6 days, which is, of course, classic Colorado. But this morning, to your point, it is chilly out there. You're exactly right. It is our coolest morning since early May for us across most of eastern Colorado. Right now, exactly at freezing in Greeley, 27 in Lyman, 32 in Ray, and 20s for us in the high country. This morning, officially down to 33 for us in Denver, our coldest morning since May the 4th. That is 191 days. Now, worth noting that usually by now, in fact, our average first freeze, our average first 32 or lower is on October the 7th, which was, that's almost 3 weeks ago. So for a little context, this is very late in the season for this to be our coolest morning of the season so far. That said, we were just talking about it. Corey and Jordan were just saying it. We're going to warm up pretty nicely here as we head over the next few hours. We'll be in the 50s by late this morning, and by early this afternoon, mid-60s. So wonderful weather for a dog walk or an afternoon jog. Anything like that looks beautiful out there on this Friday. Gorgeous kind of late October day, right? Any sort of outdoor activities. You want to kind of grab a beverage outdoors. Looks great for that. Happy hour weather looking wonderful this afternoon. And those headlines, we look at the next few days. It does look like a warm weekend ahead with near record heat on Sunday and Monday. But then next week, we get that big change with that rain to snow possible. Details on that coming up for you in a couple of minutes. We'll send things over to Lauren Scafidi for a look at traffic. Lauren.
Thank you so much, Chris. Taking a live look outside right now, looking pretty good southbound I-25 at Thornton Parkway. But taking a look at our maps, it's kind of looking like the same thing. Lots of green out there. Your morning drive time from downtown to DTC is going to be about 14 minutes. Looking good there, about 70 miles an hour. Jordan, Corey.
All right, Lauren, thank you. Happening today, the former Denver cardiologist convicted of sexually assaulting nearly a dozen women is set to learn his punishment.
Our news reporter Brianna Fernandez is live in Denver with the details. Good morning, Brianna.
Hey, good morning, Jordan, Corey. So we know Stephen Matthews is set to be sentenced later this afternoon, and each of Matthews' 35 convictions carries the possibility of multiple years in prison. So we know back in August, the former cardiologist, the Denver cardiologist, I should say, was found guilty by a jury in a Denver district court. During that trial, 11 women shared stories of Stephen Matthews drugging them. Most said they suffered memory loss after their encounters and said he also sexually assaulted them. Their stories followed a pattern, according to prosecutors. In court, they said Matthews would meet women on a dating app like Hinge and Tinder. They would end up back at his home where he would give them drinks and then the women would black out. Police arrested Matthews back in March of last year. After the verdict was read, 9 News spoke to alternate jurors and survivors. Take a listen.
I feel blessed that we got to know other women in this case and kind of be there for one another. I was praying for this day and it has come, and I am just trying to take a deep breath of air for the first time in almost a year and a half.
So we know Stephen Matthews' sentencing is going to start at 1:30 this afternoon inside of a Denver district court. We are going to have a crew live there on scene. And of course, you can stay with 9news.com and 9 News Plus for the latest information on this case. For now, I'm live here in Denver. Brianna Fernandez for 9 News.
All right, Brianna, thank you.
The man convicted of killing a 73-year-old man near the Park Meadows Mall last year will spend 60 years in prison. Police say James Neal shot and killed Michael Lohmeyer last November. They say Neal left the scene of the shooting in his SUV on Yosemite Street. He was arrested in Wyoming weeks later following a high-speed chase and was extradited back to Colorado in May to face murder charges. He'll now spend 60 years in the Department of Corrections for several charges, including second-degree murder and possession of a weapon by a previous offender.
We're going to get a paramedic now. Okay. Somebody passed out. There's been a shooting. They just tried to kill President Trump. You might want to make a note of that.
These are the sounds from the calls made to 911 following the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania back in July. Butler County officials released a total of 13 call recordings yesterday. Some of them were reporting that the shooting and others trying to get medical help. A bullet grazed Trump's ear in the attack. Former firefighter Corey Comparatori died protecting his family. 2 other rally attendees were seriously hurt but survived.
Right now, former President Trump's lawyers are again asking a federal court to dismiss the January 6 election subversion case. His legal team made the request in a filing yesterday, saying the Office of Special Counsel Jack Smith is unconstitutional. Trump's lawyers argue Smith's appointment by Attorney General Merrick Garland is invalid because it wasn't approved by Congress. They're making some of the same arguments that helped overturn Trump's classified documents case in Florida, which Smith is appealing.
The presidential election is just 11 days away. A new survey shows the uncertainty surrounding the results are taking a toll on businesses. A monthly survey by the National Federation of Independent Businesses found uncertainty among small business owners is at an all-time high right now. Experts say election anxiety has forced businesses, big and small, into a holding pattern, which could hurt their bottom lines and the U.S. economy. An executive at the Atlanta Federal Reserve says that this should subside once the election is over and the policy path becomes clearer.
Groups in Russia created and helped spread viral disinformation targeting Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz. That's according to a senior U.S. intelligence official. This surrounds a now deleted X account called DoNet YouTube. The account posted a video of a man claiming to be a former student at Mankato West High in Minnesota, where Walz taught and coached football. The man said he was abused there by Walz. X took down the fake video, but it had already been viewed 5 million times.
NASA's SpaceX Crew 8 is back on Earth this morning. The astronauts splashed down in their SpaceX Dragon aircraft off the coast of Pensacola, Florida, just before 1:30 this morning. They're back home after finishing a 7-month science mission aboard the ISS. Their return had previously been delayed due to Hurricane Milton and unfavorable weather conditions at the splashdown sites off Florida over the past week.